Sitting at the top of Field Street is a 57,350 square foot building that has been an integral part of the lives of tens of thousands of people in this town.
Tucked away from the site of Route 1, this building, originally opened at Stonington High School in 1939, became Pawcatuck Junior High School in 1957, and has been Pawcatuck Middle School since 1983. Throughout its different forms, there was always one thing that remained constant. This was a community school.
It was a tight-knit space for both the students who roamed the halls and the teachers who worked there. The decision to close this school and have the students and staff merge with Mystic Middle to create a new school was made on January 11th, 2018.
From that moment until this one, we have all been waiting for the inevitable, counting down until the last of everything, the last first day. The last class picture, the last dance. As much as we would like to put the entire building in a time capsule, we knew that this was impossible. So we decided to do the next best thing and interview a variety of people who have been impacted by this school.
What follows are excerpts from interviews with administrators, teachers, former teachers, paraprofessionals, and students, both current and former. This is by no means meant to be representative of everyone who has passed through these halls, but we feel that the opinions expressed here are just a small part of a common thread.
In 1938, I graduated from West Broad, and the high school wasn't finished at that time, okay? So in 1939, we had to spend the freshman year at West Broad. So we went into the new school the following year. So we were the first class, the 1942 class, to graduate from the new Stonington High School. Yeah. And it was, I think we were a class like around 129.
Okay.
Something such as that. And it was great. We had a great class. I mean a great class. Everybody got along, you know. Of course, I don't care what class you're in, there's always 2 or 3 cliques, you know, but on the whole, it was just a fantastic class. We had great teachers, really great teachers, and I tell you, it was really fun in those days going to high school, just having a good time. I tell you, when I graduated, I didn't want to leave.
My name is Beverly Pansara Whitford. I was in the class of 1957 at Stonington High School, which was like my home away from home. Coming from the little village of Old Mystic, it was wonderful to be there with students from all over the town. It was such a nice, peaceful place, believe it or not. I don't remember any bullying. Everyone just got along and supported each other, and we felt very much at home there. There were not any brand new cars in the parking lot. Most people walked or took the bus, and if cars were there, they were jalopies, believe me. We also had wonderful dances. I can remember one funny story when a young man was kicked out of a Thanksgiving Day dance because he came looking very much like Elvis, in a zoot suit and blue suede shoes and the Elvis hairdo. And we didn't think it was quite fair, but he was asked to leave because he wasn't dressed appropriately, which was very important at that time.
So what was it like? What was the building like?
The vibe never changed. I think it's always been like where the teachers like really care. Although, you know, they were stricter back then, but you knew they cared about you. But that community of like the teachers really caring, I think has always been there. Even when my son was there, my daughter was there. That was their favorite school, as opposed to even the high schools. We all had a good time because it was smaller. So you got to know everybody. Sometimes I'd walk home with friends, so we'd walk down the hill together and stuff like that.
Like,
everybody just walked in a pack.
Right.
Everybody knew each other.
You know, for me growing up, this was, I walked just down my street to go to West Broad Street School, and I knew that I had to train to walk up the hill. And as a sixth grader, it was like chariots of fire, like making it up the hill. I lived on Moss Street, right down the hill, but you know, it was far enough away from the hill that you got a little bit of a warm-up lap. You know, as you gathered friends, you know, it was kind of like the Outsiders. You'd pick up all your friends along the way, and you'd all be walking, and then you'd stare up at the hill and just be like, "I got you, hill." You know, you took pride in the fact that this used to be the high school. You took pride in the fact that, you know, Pawcatuck is an enclave of, it's not just a loosely defined village. It is a roll-up-your-sleeves, working class, bootstraps community that very much identifies as a community. And this was the hub of it, really. Whether the kids know it or not, this building is forging the memories that will stay with them for the rest of their lives. You know, it's really, this building could be made out of, I don't know, cardboard. And the difference is really the people and the level of care they bring in.
So I remember, I went to West Vine Street School, and I remember transitioning into 6th grade. And one of the things I was most excited about was that I was a walker. Didn't have to take the bus anymore. So I remember the first week of school, riding my bike to school, up this hill. What's the name of the street right here? It must be
Mayflower.
Mayflower. Riding up Mayflower, I have on my bike with Greg Gibson and Danny Cullen and Billy Walsh, and parking our bikes out there and feeling so grown up. And then I was also here for the big transition. So I went here for 6th and 7th grade, and then this building, which like my parents went to high school here when it was the Stonington High School. This building was finally up for renovation, and they shipped all us Pawcatuck kids over to Mystic Middle School for my 8th grade year, and we weren't very happy about it at all. You know, we had our ideas about what Mystic kids were like, and us Pawcatuck kids, we weren't into that, and I was so angry. In hindsight, it turned out to be a good thing. Made going to high school a little bit easier, made some good friends.
The fact that it's a small school, and it's a school where everybody pretty much knows each other, and it's a safe place in the sense that people can be who they are, people can express themselves as they wish, and be welcomed and be encouraged, and it's a unique feeling in this school. It's not a place to come for me just to work and do a job. It's very much, it's just a place that I enjoy being every day.
I have found this school to be a much closer knit community. There is a sense of sort of family here. I work in the same hall as like the students I had last year, so I see them on a daily basis, and so there's like this ongoing sort of narrative of their lives unfolding before me. So you get to see them even further down the road, and so like being just part of that journey of like life happening is really exciting for me. So
if you could change one thing about the school, what would it be?
I would keep it open forever.
I absolutely love everything about being at this school. It's like my favorite place I've ever been. I feel like I'm at home here.
It's just like warm and inviting, and I just love it.
I love its size, that it's small in terms of numbers of kids. And I love how much our staff loves our kids. There's so much, it's so hard to leave. It's really hard to leave.
It is a cozy, warm, just really comfortable neighborhood school that I will miss.
One of my favorite things, and I'm thinking out loud here, I think one of my favorite things was having children of children that I had. So like second generation people, students that I had their parents as students also. And I thought that every time that happened, I thought that was the neatest thing. When I came here, because of my upbringing, my background, I felt a little bit closer to parents here. Not that they weren't nice over, they were very nice, but I think my background growing up was more similar to the people that lived in Pawcatuck, so I kind of felt more comfortable with them because of that.
There's just something about this place that is very community-centered. It's about taking care of each other and trying to help each other be our best selves, both the kids and the adults both. Things that we do here matter, and things that we do here matter for a long time after people leave here.
I feel like this school was like a sense of community. We had like a sense of family. It stuck with us until now. I think that this school's legacy is leaving kids with a sense of friendship and a sense of unity, and knowing that, and like a sense of togetherness, and not being so scared when they move on in the future, knowing that they've built a community in this school with teachers and students.
Legacy is the impact that you make on a person or a place, and it's what you leave behind. It's what people remember about you.
What do you think the school's legacy is?
The school's legacy is, it's definitely going to be good. It's definitely, people had a lot of good times, and they learned, not just academically, but they also learned as people, like how to be a better person.
I've attended this school for 4 years, and I live like a block away. You can basically see my house from inside the school building. So it's really been around for as long as I can remember. So when I heard it was closing, I was upset, and this seemed like a really good way to preserve the school.
Generations of families that have gone here. It was like a very important, it wasn't just a school, it was like a community, just like came together in the school. And you know, most people had their parents and grandparents come here. And it's, you gotta document these things, because otherwise it's just a building.
It's odd, because I didn't think, like, in 5th grade I wasn't like, oh, I'm going to be the last 8th grade class. I was like, oh, I'm going to be in 8th grade class, and the next one is going to come in, and then the next one. That's just not going to happen. There's not going to be another 8th grade class here. There's not going to be another 7th grade, or another 6th grade, or another 5th grade.
As the 2019 school year came to a close, we were able to come together, alumni of Stonington High School, Pawcatuck Junior High School, and Pawcatuck Middle School, to celebrate the building's 80th birthday. It was the perfect bookend for a building that had seen so much life within its walls. It was also bittersweet, as all of us in attendance knew that this celebration was also a goodbye. It was a goodbye not just to the brick and mortar building that had served the community as a school for generations upon generations, but also a goodbye to what the building stood for. It was a farewell to the lifeblood of a proud community, where school was not just a place you went to, but instead was an extension of the life that surrounded it. Those of us that call Pawcatuck home lost a bit of ourselves when the school closed its doors on June 14th, 2019. But all of us who are fortunate enough to be in that building in any capacity, be it student, support staff, teacher, or administrator for any one of its many iterations, we get to hold our heads high and our paws a little higher for having been there.